Hi ProPresenter users, I developed this ProPresenter template because when you open up ProPresenter to nothing after a fresh install on a computer, it's scary. There's nothing happening, no playlists, no library items, no media bin items, no output, no screens are set up, no macros are set up, no live streaming stuff is set up. My template fixes all of that by providing a pre-built layout of ProPresenter. Let me go ahead and import and show you. Here is the basic template layout. If the part you're here to see is the process of importing ProPresenter template into ProPresenter, then go ahead to the chapters on that later in this video. So here is the layout. I've got some pre-built announcement slides set up. We also have songs in the playlist. If I click on this, you'll see the output. I can change the output to the multi-view so I can see the main output, the stream output, and the stage display output. If I go to screens, configure screens, I can show you the audience and stage outputs. We've got our main output for our audience, our live streaming output, our stage display output, and then the multi-view 3 and 4. So I've got two different versions of the multi-view here. We can do the quad or the 3 multi-view if you would like a vertical multi-view, preferred to the quad multi-view where I don't really use this fourth square, but you can put different things in there. If we go to screens, edit layouts, we can see the different stage display layouts that I have set up. One for pre-post service, full screen main output, a video timer, countdown timer, the sermon, current and next slide text, the full screen, worship, all the different things, including the multi-view at the bottom. The output for the live stream is only possible because of the macros in the bottom right. We can see here that on the first slide of this song and all songs in my template, we have a macro that sets the worship output. That way we've got the lower thirds for the live stream and the main output for here. If we go to looks, we can see how that's all set up. All the looks are on the left side. We've got our default look, which sends everything everywhere for the most part. Our worship look sends the lower third version to the worship. And we can change that between chroma key and alpha key if we're using NDI or if we're sending it to a physical video switcher. We've got the different sermon ones if you're going to do full screen content of your sermon or if you're going to do lower thirds, we can separate that out. And I have some videos that I'll link in the description of this video that goes into more detail about these different elements that over the years I included in this template. Now, if you want to get started on the template, go ahead and purchase it at crazyamazingdesigns.com. And when you purchase the template, you're going to get an email with a download link to a file. Now that we've taken a high-level overview of the template itself, let's go and install it on this computer. So here is the template folder that I downloaded from the email, and I've unzipped it to reveal this folder. This contains all the stuff. Here are some install notes if you would like to read through that, but this entire folder is the template. If you are installing ProPresenter on any version of ProPresenter before 7.20, so 7.1 to 720, then you are going to use this method to install the ProPresenter template. So go into your Documents folder and find that folder called ProPresenter. Now let's make sure that ProPresenter is off. Let's go ahead and quit ProPresenter. And now I've opened my Documents folder and I found this folder called ProPresenter. So this is our previous ProPresenter folder. We're going to go ahead and rename this to ProPresenter _old. And now what's going to happen is that when you relaunch ProPresenter, it's not going to be able to find the ProPresenter folder called ProPresenter because it doesn't exist. We renamed it. So before that happens, we're going to go to our downloads folder. We are going to find the template folder that I just downloaded. I'm going to remove everything except for the word ProPresenter, capital P, capital P. Now I'm going to drag this into my Documents folder. And voila, now we can go ahead and open ProPresenter and it will open to that folder that we put in our Documents folder. Here I am in ProPresenter version 21, but when they released version 20, we got this new feature called Workspaces. So this actually changes how we import the template into ProPresenter now. So I currently have the template loaded. You can see all my macros in the bottom right. You can see the playlists and the multi-view and different things. Let's go to ProPresenter settings, and we're going to open this up, and we're going to go to General. And now up here you see Active Workspace. So there's only one workspace, but if I click Manage Workspaces, I can now create a new workspace, create new workspace. This is what ProPresenter is going to do when you install ProPresenter for the first time. It's going to create a new workspace called ProPresenter, but it's not going to store it in the normal path. So let me type this out. Okay, create. So it's going to store this in, if I open in Finder, it's going to store this here. Users, user, library, application support. It's going to go all the way there. So now we have a brand new installation of ProPresenter. So that's what you're going to see. So when you go to install the template, we're no longer going to put it in the documents folder. We're now going to go to settings. Let's go back to general. Okay. So we'll just open this up, manage workspaces. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to plus, and we're going to import a legacy ProPresenter folder. So now once it opens, you can see here I've got my downloads folder open, and here's my template. Go ahead and open it, and then we can call it whatever we want, ProPresenter template, and we'll hit create. So now allow it, and it's going to import the template. Now it is going to import the template, but the template's going to be stored in the file location where we imported it from. So if I go to import legacy again, and I see here that I imported the ProPresenter template from my downloads folder, I would highly recommend moving this folder somewhere else on your computer. You could throw this ProPresenter template folder in your documents folder, or you could go all the way and copy this folder, go back to ProPresenter settings general. Let's create a new workspace that's just called whatever. Now let's open in Finder. This will open up the user workspaces folder in the renewed vision folder in your in this location. Now we can paste this folder for the ProPresenter template inside of the user workspaces folder. Now we go back to settings general. I'll switch to this one, and then I can go ahead and manage workspace and then delete this new one we made. While I'm here, I'm also going to go back one and make a user workspace. I'm going to make a link to the user workspace folder here on my sidebar. Now go back into ProPresenter settings, general, go ahead and import legacy folder. Let's go over here to my sidebar, user workspace, and then click on the template, one click, one open, call the template what we want, and import. So there we go. We have a clean template imported into our ProPresenter. I'll go ahead and delete this old one just since we don't need it anymore. If you would like to move files from your ProPresenter old folder from the documents, or maybe it's a new install of ProPresenter of version 20 or beyond, but you want to take files from an old folder and put them in the new template folder, if we go over to crazymazingdesigns.com, the shop page for the Quick Start template, if we scroll down to the bottom, you'll see some information. Here's some documentation about how to transfer those files. So you can see that inside of the old folder, you can grab the configuration file, we can grab the libraries folder, the playlist, the themes, all the information is here to show you how to do that. But very simply, let's go ahead. The files we're working out of are on the right and the new template is on the left. So let's go into the libraries. Let's go down to our two libraries that are set up here. So let's go grab sample library, Command C to copy it. We'll go over to library in our template. Sample library is already there, so we'll go ahead and paste it and it'll merge it. So that's how you transfer your old files to the new template folder. And not everything can be transferred. Macros and things like that from your old system, you're going to have to just abandon them and then rebuild them in the ProPresenter template. But there's so much built in the template for you that you should not need a whole lot of it. And you can always bounce back and forth between the old files and the new files because of the workspaces feature. Thank you so much for purchasing the ProPresenter template, for watching my YouTube videos. If you'd like to go further with the ProPresenter, or you want to get some team training, then you can sign up for training at crazymazingdesigns.com/training. And I would love to help you understand ProPresenter or other production topics even better. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.